لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سوى لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده، والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين. Respected elders and brothers, our beloved viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and ahlan wa sahlan, and welcome to our program. And let us make a special dua for those who are in financial difficulties. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them ease and make it easy for them. May Allah grant them rizq, halal, tayyib, mubarak, inshallah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, once again we say shukran that you're tuning to our program. On behalf of all our staff here on ITV, we say shukran jazilan. May Allah reward you. And a special salam and a special greeting to all our non-Muslim viewers who are always watching our ITV. I'm very proud and glad. You're most welcome for any inquiry. And this channel is yours. You're most welcome. And you can listen and you can ask questions. And you can send any feedback. You're most welcome, inshallah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, so many of our brothers, they're complaining that some parents, they don't want to go for Hajj. Or they don't have that gut and that inspiration to go for Hajj. I want to tell my Muslim brothers and sisters to not admire Hajj. There is some problem in your life, or there is disconnection between you and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala brought surah in Quran called Surah Al-Hajj. Anyone doesn't have a feeling to go for Hajj, there is something, he must get worried. There is some problem between him and Allah. The line, the connection is not there. That's why we believe that Hajj is a fard and you have to go. And you see now how much people spend just to go there. And people admire Hajj. And Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said to Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, call them, they will come to you immediately. So where were you from that call of Allah and call of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam? There is a hadith describing the person who is lazy to go for Hajj by some excuse, that he will die on the status of Yahudi or Nasrani. That's why we said to the brothers and sisters, you must think about why you did not make Hajj till now. Is that valid, reasonable excuse? Will you give it to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala? لِمَنْ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Do you have that sabil? That means, oh, you already put yourself on the trouble with Allah on the day of Qiyamah. In this ayah here in Quran al-Kareem, Rabbi, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, Rabbi لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب. Each and every mayyit will say this word, oh my Lord, if you could postpone me and give me a short time, right? فَأَصَّدَّقَ, I pay my zakat, وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, then I be amongst those who are righteous, pious. Many Mufassirin said that Salihin is the Hujjaj. Hajj is a great ni'mat of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and it is a pillar of Islam, is a fard. You will be questioned about it on the day of Qiyamah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for those who could not make Hajj. Allah write for them the Hajj. And Ya Allah, for those who pass away and they admire Hajj, Ya Allah gave them the ajr of Hajj, the reward of Hajj, inshallah. You've got so many of our parents and our grandfathers and Muslim brothers and sisters, they admire Hajj, but they don't have the means. Allah will give them ajr al-Hajj, inshallah. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Indeed, the deeds based on intention. Now, we got a main request from our younger man who met me and asked about his father. You know, when we talk about a mayyit, a deceased, the dead person, it's very difficult for someone like me to come on TV and talk about life after death. We have certain information and certain knowledge. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala gave it in Quran, and Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave it in Sunnah, and that's it. because about the life after death, it's about belief. So belief, it's about unseen. We did not see, but we trust, and that unseen is a part of our iman. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. But we can see in our life something proof that death is fact, and life after death also is fact through that seen, that what we see every day. We believe the life, the real life, is only the life of Allah. The absolute life is Al-Hayy. So the only one who's Hayy, real Hayy, or absolute life is Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, because He got self-life. No one gave it to Him. So that one we call Al-Hayyul Mutlaq, the absolute, the eternal life, Allah Tabarak. No one gave Him that life. Anyone else, any creation else, has been giving life. So Allah Al-Muhyi, the giver of life. So you got life and I got life, but it's temporary because it's grant, giving from Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Anytime the owner can take it. You must understand that is not yours. This life here in yourself is not yours. That's why the one who commit a suicide is in a trouble, because he took something is not his. So from the first day of creation of Allah, I mean on the baby, you get life and death. You get that circle of life and death. The cells in our body, millions, they're dying and getting again. Saliva, the blood, the sweat, the tears. The blood, as I said, 60 million cell a day dies. كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه. Everything will be perished except Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So it is with us. Fact continues. You experience it every day. Look at your farm, look at yourself, and look at your body, look at the grass, look at the animal around you. There is this life and death. In your liver, if it's, the doctor will explain you what is that in that liver. You see how many times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave life to the liver and cells dies, and the skin as well, the doctor say like that. Even in the spiritual life, we talk about physical life and spiritual life. Stress, depression, sadness, grief, regret, worry, all that, it's the introduction of death. If the stress and depression came and control you, you die. You die. You don't enjoy life. We call him a spiritually, psychologically death. So, as we said, Deenul Islam came to revive, to give you life, so that you enjoy that period of time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you, and then you meet a real life after death. It's called Al-Hayawan. Allah will give you eternal life in Jannah. You will be the owner of this life, and then no one will take it away from you. خُلُودٌ بِلَا مَوْتٍ ثُمَّ لَا يَمُوتُ فِيهَا وَلَا يَحْيَا. There's no death on it at all. All that as the physical thing and spiritual thing or psychological thing, we are aware about it and we study it, and Quran al-Kareem and Sharia came to give you that life and to enjoy that life till the other life come. We see in our body when the person reached the age of 40, the destruction, or that pain and the losing the energy, it's more than the young people. They see that man, his immune system and his body is dying. So who are you? Are you the person who received that gift from Allah, and you received that Shariat from Allah, and you accept it, and you manage to live and you enjoy this short life with the rule of Allah and the Shariat of Allah till you meet this one, or you abuse this life and you destroy this life? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the giver of life. So He gave you that physical life you have, and He gave you also that spiritual life. So as He gave you that, the ruh itself, the soul itself, min amri rabbi, till now there's no explanation about the nature of the ruh in your body. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ. They ask you about the soul. قُلُ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ. It's a matter of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we connect ourselves with the ruh to Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, and also salah. That's called spiritual ruh. You connect yourself. If you disconnect yourself with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, spiritually and physically is a problem. You won't enjoy this life, and you destroy your life. You make your life short. And we know that some people, they are very poor. They don't have the means of pleasure, but because of that connection with Allah, or that spiritual link with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, they are very happy. Look around you and see the people. Some people are sick, some people they got too much problem. But look at his happiness, look at his connection with Allah. Let him forget that dunya problem. And you're surprised. You say, this man, he got a cancer, but he's so happy more than me. This person lost all his business and his... Yes, because this person lost that ni'mat, but he's connect himself with the mun'im, the giver of the gift, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala connect all of us with him, inshallah, and may Allah make it easy for us to live this life, to receive, inshallah, the other life, that akhirah, inshallah. Short break, will continue after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters in Islam. And once again, we make a special dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for those who are having some problem of this dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove that stress and depression and that unhappiness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for those who are in difficulties. Ya Allah, connect us with you so that we can feel the sweetness of Iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward each and everyone who is trying to connect himself with the salah and ibadat of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Before the break, I was talking about the value of a real life if you connect yourself with Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. But what about if you're looking for the alternative? You disconnect yourself with Allah and you're looking for the pleasure and happiness somewhere else. Impossible, because you disconnect with a real giver of life or the real giver of happiness, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. We love Allah, as the Sufi said, we love Allah till we hate for Him and we love for His sake. Yes, you love for the sake of Allah and you dislike also for the sake of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Salah, it's the revival. Salah is the connection between you and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Believe me, without Salah, you are too far. You are too far. And then it's called, Salah is prevention. Salah is surface. Salah is medication. Salah, it's a... They say, how Salah can solve my problem? Yes, Allah is unseen and the medication is unseen. You know, when you take yourself to the doctor is seen, so he give you a tablet and injection and try to deal with you physically, because that doctor is bring the physical cure. But when you join the Salah, you're talking to the unseen one, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and his medication and remedy is unseen. When you make a proper Salah and you just say Allahu Akbar, you throw the dunya behind you and you really connect yourself with Allah, it will grant you that happiness. And ask the people how much they enjoy Salah and how much pain when they lose and miss the Salah. We have in our life the physical sets and devices and machines and cars. Every time you said you must take the book, you must do surface like that, and human body is like that. So you must change the oil, avoid the heat, don't misuse the car, watch out, don't put it in the water, the heat, clean it, clean the engine, do surface, check the tire, and you must do the major surface and minor surface, and watch out when someone else doesn't know how to drive it. You must watch out, don't give it to anyone. So the ulama, they say like that. The ulama say like that. Our body like that. Need halal, haram, marry, don't do this, don't drink, don't have that. It's the same. So we accept it for the physical thing, and our body is the physical. So do not hate the law of Allah, because it's rules for you, it's for your surface. The cow run well. So the need of your body depend on the Sharia of Allah Tabaraka. You don't suggest it yourself. Sharia will give it. That's why we said the person before marriage, you get certain thing. After marriage, you got certain thing. After age of 40, 50, everyone. Sharia was counting that, putting that in consideration. Salah, it got two type of prevention and purification. One is called physical one, wudu, nur on the face, and then a spiritual one. Spiritual one, yes, as we need a spiritual thing in our life, we need a friends, we need love with our wife, we need to socialize with the people. So you need to comfort yourself while you're joining that salah. And I want to tell my younger brothers and sisters, there's no way to reach Allah without salah. And there's no way to achieve the happiness and pleasure without salah. They tell you go to play the music and go for a holiday. That technique is not for that spiritual thing. It's called, they give you temporary pleasures like something is just a antibiotic or some medication is just temporary. But the problem is there. So we need a real medication so that we can live in a proper way. Do not cut that rope between you and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Stick yourself with the Creator, and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will shower you with His quality and His manner. He will give you from His nur, give you from His barakah, from His ilm. Yes, that's why we said to the brother, we talk about life after death, talk about the means to let you reach the happiness in life after death. All of that, we can get it on the story of Talut. Banu Israel, they ask Allah that we need a king to rule us and to control us so that we can fight, to get victory. So these people, they want a leadership, good leadership, and then that leadership knows Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and knows secret of life, that Talut, to fight Jalut. Right. In this case, all of them, they want victory. They want to win, like me and you. We want to achieve all what we need in this dunya. Same like the army, they want to achieve victory. So what Talut said to the army, said to, Inna Allaha mubtaliikum. Allah will test you, binahrin, with a river. In the desert you will find a river. That river is very attractive, very sweet water. Same like this dunya, me and you, we are living on the river. But that river, you're not free to do whatever you want. It's very shining, it's too hot, and you like to drink water, and the weather is very hot. But the leader of the army said, you're going to cross the river, right? فَمَنْ شَرِبَ مِنْهُ فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. If anyone who fully drink from it is not from us. So this dunya, you admire the money, you admire this and that, how much you need and how much you drink from that water of this dunya, or that fresh. I know you are thirsty, but how far you drink and how much water you need for it. Right? وَمَنْ لَمْ يَطْعَمُهُ. If anyone doesn't taste it, فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي. And he's from me. If someone renounced the dunya and just wait for Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, avoided all the haram, and he just left himself under the rules of Islam, so he's from us. So the people said, so the Talut said to the army, you cross the river, anyone who doesn't touch, because this water is not good, you just pass and you are from me. Right? إِلَّا مَنِ اغْتَرَفَ غَرْفَهُ. Except the one who took one little bit here, if he really desperate to need it. I mean, you need money. So you go for Hajj, you need money. You want to marry, you need money. You want to eat, you want to dress. So that one is called the necessity of life. The necessity of life. What happened to the soldiers? He said, all right, we allow you just to take one hand, or a little bit of school hand, just to drink. And then what happened? فَشَرِبُوا مِنْهُ. Then they drank fully from the river. We know that when you fill your stomach with water in the desert in the hot weather, the sweat will come and then you lose your energy. How are you going to fight? How are you going to fight? So what happened? فَشَرِبُوا مِنْهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِنْهُمْ. Except few. I love that few. Except few. very few soldiers there. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a condition. If you want victory, watch out, don't misuse that river and don't run after this water on the river. So the victory based on victory on yourself, how to control. That river is desire. That river is dunya, the way me and you, we chasing and running after it. Right. In spite that we are thirsty, and Allah didn't just cut us off. He say, if you're really, really desperate, so take little bit. Take little bit to move on it. فَشَرِبُوا مِنْهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. So the majority of the army drank from it. See now how big stomach, how are you going to run? How are you going to run? How that man who drink in Ramadan, you see after iftar, how you walk and how you talk and how you read Taraweeh. إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And I love that qalil. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me and you and all our Muslim brother of these few people. إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِنْهُمْ. In each and every society, in every family, in every era, you find that little, that qalil there. People knows the reality of dunya, they know how to manage, how to live on this dunya. And then the dua, Ya Allah, grant us energy and willpower to resist of that desire. So the Nabi Muhammad spent 23 years to teach you how to hold. Not everything you will admire, you run after it. So he said, Allahumma ij'alna mimman yuqawimu ma yuhib. Oh Allah, make us amongst those who resist for that what they admire. Resist. You know, not everything. You got so many people died with that resisting because they don't want to do haram. They don't want to disobey Allah. They love, even some halal they could not achieve it. They resist also and they meet Allah with that resisting, with that tolerance. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will account it. Then, وَنَتَحَمَّلُ مَا نَكْرَهُ. And Ya Allah, we tolerate for what we dislike. You got so many obstacles in your life. So you got something makruhat, you get it in your life, but you stay away from it and you fight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to نُقَاوِمُ مَا نُحِبُّ, to resist for what we admire, and also we pay and we tolerate for what we dislike. Inshallah. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Short break. We'll continue after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brother and sister in Islam. And once again, we thank you that you're tuning to our program. And we ask Rabbul Izzat Tabarak wa Ta'ala, may Allah make it easy for those who are in difficulties. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them easy life and grant them understanding of reality of dunya. May Allah make it easy for all of us. May Allah make it easy for those who pass away and they did not achieve what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote for them. And we ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, may Allah make it easy for us to leave this dunya without fitna and without any temptation and trial, inshallah. Before the break, I was talking about the few minority on each and every community or family or era or society, إِلَّا قَلِيلًا مِّنْهُمْ, except the few people who knows the reality of this dunya. They got that peace of mind, they got tranquility, they got sakina, they got itmi'nan, and they have that absolute iman in Allah and in the taqdeer of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before the break, I was talking about that dua, Allahumma ja'alna ممن يقاوم ما يحب, and then وَنَتَحَمَّلُ مَا نَكْرَهُ. Oh Allah, make it easy for us to resist for what we admire and desire, and also tolerate and stay away from what we dislike. This is our big problem. Sometimes you admire something, you lose your iman. And sometimes you hate and you dislike something, and then you lose your iman. For example, all of us, we like to rest. Wake up for Fajr, is that when your nafs, your body doesn't like to get irritated. You are very cool and down there sleeping, to jump there. That is, you call it makareh. And then you got desire, hawa. You got hawa too much. Women, money, this and all that dunya, it's called hawa. Hawa is the desire, the lust, the desire. So if you manage these two, you are from the qalil. You are from the few people who knows the reality of dunya. So this dunya is a river, as we said. Take what we need only, take what you need, and you don't need to fight and to kill yourself for something you don't need it. You don't need it. And then Al-Qalil, these few people, or that minority, that Allah created dunya to show us them. These people, the Qalil, whole scenario around you is to let the Malaika and the creation of Allah knows these people here, so that He can show them to us and to become a role model for me and you. And we got them a lot. We got them a lot. Right. The other thing also, this Qalil are the real slave of Allah. These few people, a real slave of Allah, and Allah created Jannatul Firdaus for them. They are the people of Allah. They are Ahlullah. They are the people of Allah. Right. What about the rest? There's rest. These people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't care about them. These people become the fuel and firewood of desire. Shaitan and nafs destroy them and bury them in dunya, and they will be the firewood and the fuel of Jahannam. As they become a fuel of desire and lust in dunya, by disobedience Allah to fulfill that hawa and that desire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make them also the fuel of the fire of Jahannam. So we ask Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, oh Allah, make us amongst these few people who knows the reality of life, and Ya Allah, make it easy for each and every Muslim to pass this world to enjoy that promised time of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. The other thing when we talk about the hawa, the hawa come from something called hawa a. Oh, tahwi, you fly and you drop from the high building, you're out of control. So Quran al-Kareem spoke about desire or hawa, or that lust make you lose your common sense and you become out of control, and you discover that you are the slave of your hawa or your desire. That is the biggest issue in our life, and we have to discuss it. Why you can't make it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not give you any burden or anything on yourself. Allah knows that you can take it, it is your size. When He asks you to fast Ramadan, He knows that is your size. When He asks you to stay away from haram, to drink, women, this and that, He knows that too. And millions of non-Muslims, they don't do that without the law, without naturally like that. So, if that hawa control you, you discover that you got someone else besides Allah controlling you and ordering you, and you obeying Him. So those, how you know that the people of hawa, they got the desire? Those who don't fast Ramadan. He doesn't care, so his desire, his habit, it's controlling him. The man who makes zina, well, he's married or he doesn't want, or the person, tarikus salah, the one who doesn't read salah, especially salatul fajr, is hawa. You love sleeping. Then the one who disobey the command of Allah, Allah call you here, you go to the side, drinking and what? أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to me and you, don't you see the one who took his own desire as his God? So you got some people, his God is money. Another one is God is his wife, his children, his authority. You got so many gods. So me and you, we try to resist, to obey Allah, and to listen to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's it. We don't want to be the slave or abd or servant of someone else. You got in our life, you people call it habit. That habit, if it controls you, you need jihad on nafs. You need to destroy this hawa by bringing yourself back to the obedience of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. It's called mujahada. You resist, you try to push yourself to obey Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Most of the wrong religion, which we respect all the faith and all religion, but that division and that fraction amongst the believer, it's because of hawa. Because if all of us run according the hawa of Allah and the command of Allah, you wouldn't find any other different belief and different thought and all that, because the desire, it must be under the wish of Allah and the will of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. following your desire, it will take you to the adhab of Allah, take you to Jannah. That's why we said to the brothers and sisters, before you talk about death, before you talk about life after death, talk about your reality now, how you manage, how you live this life, how to maintain your life so that you can be accepted and you can say, I'm really the truthful God or truthful slave of God. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us, inshallah. The other thing I'd like to discuss it with all my brothers here and sisters. When we talk about the reality of life and reality of dunya, I have here in front of me the problem of the believer. The problem of the believer. Number one, everyone born believer. But because of how, as I said, nafs, shaitan, you find a lot of confusion. If you don't educate yourself and you don't get the solid information about the belief of God, you will become under the desire of someone else or the thought of someone else, not under the command of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Come and tell you about Aqidah, the belief, faith. Ask anyone in the church or anyone, how many God, he will say one. That is called fitrah, natural thing. He will tell you one. But now they say 1 and 3, 3 and 1, but they will say one. Right. Right. Do you know he's one? Yeah. How you communicate with him? You say, I pray. How he communicate with you? I got a feeling. No. We don't want the feeling. We want the prophet, the middle person between you and Allah, because when you want to get power from the main electric wire on the street, you got some substation and you got some what you call electric controller, and you get certain controller and you get battery voltage, what. So you cannot communicate with the main station. You need someone in between. There's one, we call him prophet. And we don't worship the prophet. We don't put the prophet higher than God. We just say he is the person who passed, messenger. And when we talk about messenger, we're talking about a postman. Nothing from his side. You just carry the message and give it to Allah. So that aqidah, that faith and belief, being corrupted because of hawa, desire, because of nafs, because of shaitan, because of education. We are very innocent, we just listen to the other. So that is a big problem. How do you communicate with God if you don't believe in the Prophet? How do you know that what this Allah or that Almighty want from you? So in the grave, the first question is going to be about this aqidah, Imaniyaat. That's why we name our program Imaniyaat, because the first test, it's called Imaniyaat. Who's your Lord? What is malaika? What do you believe on fate? And amantu billahi wa malaikati, like this. So you have to sit and think about that faith and believe, because sometimes you are under the hawa, the desire, or your own opinion, or the opinion of someone else, or the desire of someone else, or nafs, or shaitan, or you don't have the sufficient information. So sit and educate yourself about that faith or the belief or the imaniyat. May Allah grant us the correct iman and aqidah, inshallah. Short break, we'll continue after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters in Islam. And once again, we say shukran that you're tuning to our program. Before the break, I was talking about a very serious issue. It's called the belief or the faith. You sit with the person, and they call it the iman of the aql, iman of the mind, the common sense. Nowadays, in our time now, so many means of information. So many information coming to our mind, either about religion or about way of life or about the way of thinking, because the ulama said, you are the way you think. You are the way you think. So that virus of the belief comes to the mind of the people and break the religion the way you see it. You got hundreds and thousands of churches and belief in this world. But the belief is one, only one God, and life after death, but because of hawa, as I said. The other thing also, shaitan took their chances and confused people and try, because he promised Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. That's why some people worship idols, some people don't worship at all, they don't believe at all. Allah sent big number of prophets and messengers to warn me and you about the seriousness of shirk, to come back to the oneness of Allah or to tawheed of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So shaitan and nafs and so many causes make people group, make people are not interested in religion. They die like that. They are not interested in any other religion, and they die, face their destiny on akhirah, while the proof and evidence was in the front of them. So how you maintain your iman? And by ilm, and we got Quran and Sunnah. You cannot based on another type of knowledge. You need a Quran and Sunnah. So you got ilm al-shar'i, that religious knowledge, which you need a proof, and we got the assisting knowledge. We call it assisting knowledge, or the knowledge which can assist you to reach the belief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anyone who suppress that knowledge, or deviate himself from that knowledge, or change that knowledge, Allah will punish him because he may katmul ilm, or hide the knowledge from the people, from the common people, and Allah will let him pay like this. Unfortunately, some people, they say, the Bible said, I heard it somewhere, but he did not do the proper investigation and did think about it and discuss it like this. If you want to go and buy a car, you know how many times you do our research and ask for the price and for the model, but for your final life, akhirah, you have to think as well. That type of knowledge, the people misunderstand it. The secular knowledge is to help you to reach Allah and to reach the understanding and the knowledge of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. The religious knowledge is the main thing, it's the main objective. Some people turn it the other way. They want the Quran must match science. You say, no, science must match Quran. You see, yeah, in Quran. No. Science must lead you to believe on Quran, and Quran doesn't lead you to believe on science. He push you to investigate on science. Another thing also, brothers and sisters in Islam, that we got a problem here in our life, it's called rich and poor. If we don't fix that problem, it means powerless and powerful. That the person who is ghani, the rich and poor, it's a long-term fight between these people. When you see rich people, you feel hurt, and you say, why? I want to be like him. And rich and poor, people don't believe that is a gift from Allah. They think that you can achieve it yourself. We know that Islam fought poverty and doesn't like you to be poor. But what about if you face that destiny? How you manage? You lose your iman, you go for haram, and also sometimes you become rich. Will you change your heart and you change your attitude after you gain and after you get the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to maintain what you have. If you got little, you must appreciate and live and ask Allah to give you. If you have more, you must fulfill the haqq of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. That's why Allah named the money as fitna, named the children as fitna. Fitna is a temptation. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, maybe a dirham better than 100,000 dirham. It's not about the money. It's about the pleasure you get it and the reward you get it if you have it. Another thing also, something also affect our religion or our belief, it's called health and sickness. Yes, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us book. We can prevent ourselves from any type of sickness, physical sickness or spiritual sickness, right? So if you face some shortage of health or some temptation from any health, you have to believe that it is a decision of Allah and you have to take it. So to enjoy your life, you don't make your life shorter, right? So you must follow the command of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala in health or in sickness. And we know that we have a great ibadah on Islam. It's called moderate ibadah or moderation, wasatiyah. We are the people of moderation. We are not angel, we are not shaitan. We are not a superman, we are not animal. We are just people obey Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, live our normal life, and we're waiting for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you fix your condition and your mood in health and sickness, because I got some people, when they get sick, they lose their iman. They're supposed to come closer to Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. And they say, no, it's a punishment of Allah. They don't know the hikmah and the wisdom behind that sickness or behind that person who troubled me. You got in your life, so many people are very funny to us. So what happened? If you are wise enough, you'll say, I don't know, maybe Allah sent that man in my life to teach me sabr, or to give me darajat and stages on Jannah. So the man was married a very funny woman. She used to become rude to him. So they asked him, divorce. He said, no, if I divorce, where I'm going to get the reward? Where I'm going to get reward? She's a means for me to connect myself to Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Another thing also, brothers and sisters in Islam, all of us, we're looking for peace. But unfortunately, we don't get it by ourselves. We look for means to get that peace. So people got medical aid, insurance, they look for dunya, but they forgot the main peace. Is peace come from Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So you got peace with Allah by obeying Allah. You must listen to the command of Allah. Peace with the society. You must know how to deal with the people. You must know how to get peace with the funny one, the evil one, and the good one. And then you got peace with yourself. Peace of mind. You must understand who you are and where are you going to and what is your status in the eyes of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, and how far you are from the command of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So Nabi Ibrahim as-salam said to his father, Salamun alayk, peace be upon you. Then he said, I will ask Allah to forgive you. So he looked, peace in society, I won't hit you and harm you, and peace as well with Allah, because sometimes people got peace here, then you're going to get trouble that side. So we look for the peace of Allah. That's why Islam is peace. Why Islam is peace? Peace in this world, peace on thereafter. So when you close, Salamun alaykum tibtum, peace be upon you, that glad tiding you're entering Jannah. The greatest thing, Allahumma innaka anta salam wa minka salam, tabarakta wa ta'alayta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. So peace from Allah is the greatest thing. You get it in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, now what should we do now? When we think about our life and all that mystery of life, like death and life and all that, first thing, you must maintain your current life now. Then you will see Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will grant you that peace in this dunya and akhirah. My friend, he asked me, say, where's my father? My father passed away. I don't know, is he in Jannah? Is he in the grave? I said, look here. We are not sending people on Jannah or sending people to hellfire. We are here the carrier of the knowledge of Allah. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who believe on the unseen. Let me tell you, according to the teaching of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once the soul come out from your body, you are not here, you are in a place or period of time, it's called barzakh. Barzakh is life on the grave. We believe like that. And we trust the Quran al-Kareem and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who gave us that. That barzakh is life, but not like my life and your life. So this we call it qabr. That qabr, Allah will question you about Imaniyaat. This Imaniyaat, the belief and what. So I'm telling you today about how to get Imanul Aql and Imanul Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb. You believe in unseen. So after you maintain, and this belief in Imaniyat must be full mark, not 99%, full mark. Amantu billahi, asbahtu billahi mu'minan haqqa. I become absolute believer. No single issue in my belief, I hesitate. Then we move from the grave, which is a very tough one, you go to another place, it's called Hashr. When you resurrect from the grave, you got Hashr. So this Hashr is going to talk about ibadat, your pillars of Islam. Did you read your salah? And then from there, you go to Mizan, about materialistic things, the right of the people. Then after Mizan, you go to Sirat, how you socialize with the people, how is your akhlaq with your family, how you dealt with your family and the people you work with, and how did you deal with a sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So again, qabr, hashr, mizan, and sirat, imaniyat, then ibadat, muamalat, and muasharat. Once you cross this 4 roadblock, you are on Jannatul Firdaus. Don't worry about ghaibiyat. You are in a new life. We ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, oh Allah, maintain this 4, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for all of us to pass all the tests of akhirah, inshallah. Unfortunately, my time is up. Inshallah, we'll continue next time. Shukran jazilan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سواه لا إله إلا الله